Darren here again for another short and super sweet edition of my how-tos. So in the last little blog thing, I focused on how you can use a text-to-image generator to kind of support creative writing. What I want to do now is want to show you something else which is really creative, a really interesting creative way that you can use AI. And I have fun with this, my kids have fun with this, and certainly the schools and the students who've played with this have really loved it. And it's essentially how you can use an AI large language model, and in this case I'm using Claude, to set up a walking tour of a scene. The scene might be a moment in a novel or a play, or it might be a scene from history, or even potentially something from science, like walking around the human body. But what I'm going to show you is how you can freeze a moment in time in a novel, enter that moment in time, and then have a walk around. And the scene I've chosen is the scene in Animal Farm just before Farmer Jones is kicked out. It's great fun exercise. Year 9s love it. So let me show you. So I'm in Anthropic's Claude now, Claude model, which is Claude.ai. Claude is the French term that you can see there, look at the bottom of the screen, and .ai. Now the version I'm using is the free version. There are paid versions. This Opus is the paid version, but the free version is pretty good, so you don't have to pay, and I'm going to show you the free version. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in my initial prompt. I'm going to talk you through the prompt, obviously, as I always do. It's quite a long prompt, as they nearly always are with me. Sorry, not sorry. But you need this level of detail in order for it to do what you want it to do, otherwise it doesn't work. So this is the prompt. You are an interactive walking tour guide leading a student on a thrilling journey through a text or historical moment of their choice. Your goal is to foster understanding. AI loves foster, so we're going to always bring in a bit of fostering. Your goal is to foster understanding, spark discussion about the themes and events through immersive exploration and conversations with the characters. Now, this is important, okay? It's not just some like nice sort of creative exercise where we wander around and ask Winston Churchill what his favourite colour was. It's a bit pointless, to be honest with you. This is actually pedagogical. They're going to enter a scene in a novel or history, and then they're going to explore it, and they're going to be kind of prompted to think. So they're going to have to do some work. Very important. So warmly greet the student, ask their name, and ask them what they want to explore. Set the scene, begin with a vivid description, use sensory details. Student makes a choice, have a conversation with whoever. Student asks more questions about the character's life. Large language model, LLM responds in character. LLM asks a question. Pause. Now notice here, I will say pause quite a lot. Pause here. Pause here. And then at the end, students should have an immersive understanding. Those are really important, the pauses, because if you don't do that, it will just carry on. And to be honest with you, often it does anyway. I find ChatGPT really bad at this. Even if you say you must pause every time you ask a question or every time you want the student to do something, you have to pause. It still doesn't. It's quite annoying. And I think it's because ChatGPT is so programmed to be super helpful that it just carries on and carries on. And it's like, slow down. I always call it a puppy that swallowed the internet. That's my phrase. That's going to go with me to my grave. So let's see if this works. Smiles warmly. We love it when Claude smiles warmly to us. Welcome, student. I'm delighted to be your guide. Before we begin, could you please tell me your name? You can, and I will let you know, Claude, what my name is. Wonderful to meet you. So what would you like to do? What would you like your explanation to be? And as I said, the moment in Animal Farm, who needs proper nouns, when just before Farmer Jones is evicted by the animals. So, I mean, really anything. You can do anything. I'm just using this one because I think it's fun. Okay, so Excellent choice. Let's transport ourselves to Manor Farm on the eve of the animals' rebellion. It's a warm summer evening. Set the scene. That's good. The air is thick with the scent of hay and manure. Old Major gives us impassioned speech. Man is the only enemy we have. Remove man from the scene. He's quoting from the book. Where shall we go first on our adventure? Would you linger here in the barn or step outside and get a lay of the land, get a sense of the daily life? Now, actually, I want to let's head up to the farmhouse. See Mr. Jones, see what he's up to. Very well. As we approach the lit windows, just then the door bursts open. Farmer Jones himself stumbles out, a glass of bottle dangling from his hand. Was that boy? He slurs. Slackers the lot of you. He catches sight of us. So interesting, isn't it? It's bringing us into the scene, and his face turns an alarming shade of purple. What you be squawking at? Back to your styes. Gives an uncoordinated kick. It's clear Jones is overindulged. I haven't, by the way. It's morning for me. All I've had is tea. Overindulged in the home brews ale again this evening. What would you like to do, Darren? Shall we keep a safe distance, or perhaps you have a burning question? Let's ask him a question. What do I have heard? The animals, we're going to squeal on them, of rebellion. What do you say about that? So you can literally have conversations with the characters. You can go and talk to anyone. It's just such fun. I spend hours doing this. I never get any work done. Gloraf's voice pretending to be fun. I'm not sure what was in that tea this morning. Rebellion. What's all this blasted nonsense about a rebellion? He takes a swig from the bottle. I put the stop on any harebrained ideas. Jabs an accusatory finger at us. I need to put my teeth back in. So you can see here, it's quite a fun activity. But it's not just a fun activity. As you start to develop a narrative inside this scene, you'll find that Claude particularly, so I quite like Claude, it will just push questions at you to think about and consider. Try it in Gemini as well, gemini.google.com, that's also a good one. But I genuinely find Claude tends to be a bit more academic in its focus. So give it a go because it's a lot of fun.